I know you talked extensively about the CFL. Me and you have talked about the future of the CFL. You've written a piece about what we do now and what the problems were before. What can you say does the future of the CFL look like to you right now, and what steps do we need to take to make sure this league lasts 100 years, another 100 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just gotta look inward and like be critical. It feels, and I'm by no means a historian on the Canadian Football League. Um, you got a regular in Justin Dunk that's way better than me and all that. But from where I stand, like they have to be critical, man, and like look at themselves and just realize like we've been doing this the same thing the same way for so long, and it's not working. If the NFL can realize that they're doing things backwards at a point and like change their stance on, you know, after Patrick Mahomes put out a Black Lives Matter video and they were like, oh, Black Lives Matter, like
Right.
not that that's the issue of the CFL, but if they can change that, then the CFL can, reposition their marketing. They can do all these little things, and I think that's what's necessary. Is that we've been talking about it for almost a decade now, like the aging fan demographics and stuff like that in a digital world. It's just there's a disconnect, right? It's like we're still trying to appeal to, not that there's anything wrong with the older generation, that's ridiculous, but the lack of care and ability to connect with people younger is just like it's terrible, and it shows. And just like, I mean, I'm in Ottawa, I work around Lansdowne. It shows just in the conversations that you hear about the players. Like the guys I played with this past year who were on NFL rosters for more than one season doing things, and people discuss them as if they're some like B-rated athlete. And it's like, that's the fault of the teams, not the individuals.
Man, that's a good point. And like I've always thought about, like, even growing up, there are dudes that are like, oh man, I'm never gonna play in the CFL. I'm going to the NFL. Then, whatever, they go through college, and next thing you know, they're in the CFL. Then they realize the level of play that they're actually up against again in the camp. They get cut, and then they realize actually what the CFL is about. So it's different for a lot of people. But I'm just wondering, like, as a league, they've operated the same way for so long, right? And we have a new commissioner, Randy Ambrosi, who has this big vision of CFL 2.0, bringing in the global borders, being the biggest global football league ever. But the issues are almost right in our backyard that we haven't fixed yet, and we're trying to bring in global initiatives where we still have issues with our own league, and it's being exposed right now with COVID. It's almost like the U.S. wants to fix everybody's problems around the world, but they got Flint doesn't have water. They got racial injustice going on all over the place. So that it kind of reminds me of, like, you've got to work on your own soil before you can go try to water other people's soil. And I think that's what the CFL needs to get back to. Like don't forget about the CFL 2.0, but make sure you're good at home before you do all that. And I was talking to a couple guys like Dejan and Juwan about how we fix Toronto's issues, and I was like, man, like whatever Drake wants, like bring him in there, you know what I mean? Like get him, make it look cool to go to a CFL game, right? It might cost you a lot to get Drake out there, but the public perception will be on your side. Like, oh, Drake's at the game, oh, let's go, man. Like it must be something if Drake's there. If Justin Bieber's there, just get something going where you appeal to the younger demographic. And then, like you said, like thinking about guys like the B-rated athletes, like we both know, like, there's some of the best athletes are in the CFL, and there's got to be a way to highlight that, like, you know what I mean? Like there's got to be a way to make them look like they're marketing, whether it's marketing or I'm not a marketing man, but I know there's got to be people out there that know how to make these guys, us, seem bigger than life, and that's what's got to happen, you know what I mean?
I completely agree. I mean, I think we've chatted about it too. What the NBA did once David Stern made that his focus: turn your stars into your brand, and let them roll with it. Then you have fans that are committed no matter where they are. They're invested, and these stories become larger than life. That's just it. I mean, you can watch an NCAA football game and start to care about these stories about 19-year-old kids who never actually paid a bill in their life, and all of a sudden, I mean,
it's the whole production. Like
exactly.
NCAA game day, like you're watching that, and then they're telling stories about these guys, and then you become an investor. Next thing you know, you're a University of Michigan fan. I was like, how do they do that?
Exactly right.
That's what I feel needs to happen in the CFL. Like they've got to invest. It's gonna obviously take investing, but that's what's gonna happen.